I accidentally saw a text on my stepdad's phone saying he prefers when I'm at my dad's house, so I told my mom I'd only stay at my dad's from now on without telling her why, but she kept pushing me to explain. I, 21F, am in my junior year of college. I go to school 3.5 hours away and usually only go home on breaks. My parents have been divorced since I was 7, and both are remarried with other kids. My mom, 47F, is married to Rich, 48M, and they have 2 sons, 8M and 10M. My dad, 50M, and stepmom, 45F, have a 12-year-old son, and I have 2 stepsisters, 22F and 24F. I had a good childhood, though, and always got along with everyone I thought. Before I left this summer, Rich was coaching my brother's soccer team and gave me his phone so my younger brother could play a game on it. At one point the phone shut off, so I plugged it into my battery pack, and when it turned back on there was a text from his brother saying, "Yeah, that's rough, but at least she's gone most of the time." I saw the text it was responding to, and it basically said that Rich always preferred when I was at my dad's house, and said all step-parents probably feel the same way so he doesn't feel bad. I didn't snoop anymore and gave the phone back to my brother. I still plan on seeing and hanging out with my mom and brothers, but I told her I was just going to stay at my dad's on breaks from now on. I didn't tell her why, but I always hated having 2 houses anyways. I never wanted to just pick one because I loved them both, and they always said they all loved me being there and missed me when I was gone. I feel stupid for believing them, but I guess that's growing up. I told my dad and stepmom it was because my mom was having work done on her house, and they're thrilled I'll be staying there, I think. My mom is upset, but I told her it will just make things easier. I don't want to start a fight between her and Rich, and won't make a big deal about anything. I plan on living at home for a while after I graduate to save money, and it'll just be easier to go towards just staying at one house anyways. I know my mom's sad, but I think this is the best for everyone and will make the most people happy. My boyfriend thinks I should just keep staying at both, but I'm excited about just having one place to stay. But am I the jerk for not staying at my mom's part of the time? Edit, I really don't know if I'm ready to talk to my mom about this, guys. We had some rough years when I was a teenager and it's a little better now, but it would be devastating to find out she felt the same way. When I say I'm an adult, it just means that I don't depend on her anymore, not that I think I'm mature. If I was, I would probably have already told her and not asked Reddit lol. But that's not going to be an easy discussion, and I'm already hurting a lot. I know she's hurting, too, but I'm still the kid and I'm just saying that it's going to hurt a lot. I'm probably going to tell her. I just can't right now, I'm sorry. Update, 6 days later. I posted a few days ago about accidentally seeing a text on my stepdad's phone of him saying that he preferred for me to be at my dad's, so I decided that when I come home from college, I would only stay with my dad. Everyone told me to tell my mom, some nicely but some not. I really didn't want to do that. But sorry I came across as argumentative. It wasn't on purpose. It was just like, the thing is that it felt like way more people cared about my mom's feelings over mine. And I get it. I've always done that too, but I've been working on it. But I took all of your advice and talked to my mom. I wish I hadn't. She had called me a few times about Thanksgiving and the plan, and then was telling me I should just stay with them. So I told her that I just felt like Rich doesn't love it when I'm there. I didn't tell her about the text. I just knew she'd yell at me and accuse me of snooping even though I absolutely didn't. I just said I got the feeling that things were easier for them when I stayed at my dad's. She told me that of course it was easier when I wasn't there. It's hard having someone who only lives with you part of the time because it's harder to bond and plan around, and messes up routines. She said it really nonchalantly like of course it's cold in the winter. I wish she had just left it at that, but then she was saying that I'm too much like my dad and reminded them too much of him. That hurt because my dad has said something similar before, so it's like I can't make anyone happy. She told me that I'm an adult now and should have already realized these things, but that she still loves me and wants me there, but these things are complicated, and she didn't like feeling as if I preferred or picked my dad over her. I got mad. I felt like she was just defending her stupid husband trying to force me out of their lives and not listening to me, and she told me that she defends me to Rich all the time because blended families are just complicated. I told her I was going to still stay at my dad's then so she wouldn't have to keep dealing with all that, but she basically insinuated my dad and stepmom probably felt the same way. That hurt a lot, and I hung up on her after asking her to have my back for once in my freaking life. I think I just knew deep down that she felt this way, so I wish I hadn't talked to her about it. I just feel so bad. I wish I had just kept my mouth shut and done my original plan, which was to tell her that my stepsister had asked me to help her with her baby and that's why I was staying there, but I had to make it all worse. I guess she told Rich because he ended up calling me. I didn't answer, but he left a voicemail and apologized. He said he was sorry if anything he did or said made me think that he didn't want me around. He didn't intend for that. But he didn't, deny any of it, so it didn't make me feel any better. I won't be returning his call anyways. I haven't really talked to them since. I texted to ask what the times for Thanksgiving were because every year I have to figure out how to make all of the houses work, but haven't heard back. She does this sometimes, so I'm not too worried. I'm sure she'll reach back out if she feels bad or needs something. I know some people pointed out it's unfair to my stepmom and dad for me to stay with them full time because they probably feel the same way, but I don't have anywhere else I can stay when I'm home. My boyfriend says I could stay with him at his parents', but how I'd explain that, and they're from Mexico, so I'd need to go home anyways to get my passport. So I'm going to stay at my dad's and just hope that they don't feel the same as my mom and stepdad. But I guess I feel like if even my mom feels that way, it's likely my dad does, too, and that sucks to know. Before anyone says anything, no, I'm not going to tell my dad any of this. If you had divorced parents, you'll understand. You can't really complain about the other parent or they just gloat and make it all about them. Also, I wasn't a bad kid. I had good grades, played sports, had a job, and didn't get into trouble. My parents are just really critical of me. I think I just remind them too much of the other, and as I got older I got sick of always being nitpicked over every little thing I do, so I stood up for myself, and they didn't like that. But I don't regret it. I did talk to my dad. He said he was thrilled I'd be staying with him and that they loved having me there. But sometimes I think he exaggerates. I give he and my stepmom feel the same as my mom and Rich, but if they do, I'd rather not know now. Let's just say I won't be going through my stepmom's phone. I don't know. I graduate next year and figured I'd live at home for a bit to save money. But now I kind of feel like I don't belong at either house in the end. My boyfriend and I have talked about moving to the coast after college, and that would be nice. I feel like all of this has really changed how I view my entire childhood, and it sucks that maybe I was never really as wanted as I thought. It sucks. My boyfriend says I should try to look at it as a good thing, as weird as that sounds. Like freeing? I always felt like I owed a lot to my parents and needed to make them happy, but maybe I don't. And I guess that is kind of freeing. My boyfriend also told my friend he was going to propose in the spring, which is exciting. I am in no hurry though. We've been together for years, but I never wanted to be married before I was 25, but with everything going on, who knows?